What's going on, good people? It's Nguvu from High Caliber Firearms Training, and today I'm testing out a new CLP from Professor Pew. Alright, so full disclosure, I did get this sent to me for free, but if you know me, I'm going to give my honest view on it, good, bad, or indifferent. So we'll get into it and see what it is. Today we're going to be cleaning my Glock 44, which is my practice gun. This gun seeds a shit ton of rounds, and I hardly ever clean it. Typically, I run it until it starts to fail, and then I'll clean it. So that's kind of where we are now. The last time I went to the range, it was failing left and right. So it's about time to clean it. That's normally, if you're curious, that's normally around 6,000 rounds that I'll get through before it starts to fuck up. So 6,000 rounds of 22, you can imagine how dirty a gun can get. So we'll break this down, and we'll see what we got. All right, so you can already see what the light looks like inside in our components. See how much grime and shit is in there. It's pretty disgusting. Look at that. It's not pretty. So this is going to be a good test for the CLP. Just finish breaking the pistol down. Take out our lock and block. Feels like it's got sand and shit all in it. Trigger acting like it didn't work out. So you can see how grimy these pieces are, especially here. So instructions just say to coat the pieces and let it sit a few minutes and then come back and clean. So we're gonna spray them down now. I already shook it up, which does say to do first. You can get an idea of what it looks like inside there. So I already shook it up. I'm just gonna spray this down, wait a couple minutes, pause the video, and then come back. Do recommend wearing gloves. You don't want all these chemicals on your skin. Technically, you shouldn't let anything touch your skin that you can't eat. You definitely don't want to eat CLP. Alright, so we'll let that shit sit and we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, so it's been a few minutes. I'm just going to start brushing some of this stuff off and wiping some of it off. I have a microfiber cloth over here that I use for the bullshit. So this is brass as well, so this is softer than steel. So we'll start scrubbing some of this grime out of here. Now, I'm not going to do a deep clean today. I just want to see kind of how the product works. Clean it the same way I would with my carry gun that doesn't get quite as dirty, so I don't run it as much. So most of my practice gets on that gun. This thing is pretty dirty. Get my trigger bar. It seems to be coming pretty clean though. So go to the nylon brush. So far, so good. We'll look inside this barrel. Oddly enough, the barrel actually doesn't look bad inside. I haven't sprayed anything in there now, so maybe I'll put a little in there. Now this is the only thing, since it comes out as that spray and not so much a stream. It's hard to direct it exactly where you want it to go. So I'm not even sure how much is really getting inside the barrel. So it probably should come with a, you know, some of those spray bottles will come with a little straw that you can stick in there to direct the blast, but it does not. So that makes it hard to get it inside the barrel where you actually want it. But if you're someone that cleans your barrel with patches, then that's probably not going to be a big issue because you could just saturate your patches. I usually use a bore snake, which technically I could saturate the bore snake, but I don't like doing that. Slide, stop, slide, lock, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to start wiping some of these pieces down and see what we got. It's actually pretty good. So you can see this much cleaner than it was. That's just after a brushing and a wipe with the cloth. So it seems to work really well. I'll wipe down my trigger bar. Same thing, trigger bar came pretty clean considering the way that it was looking before. Same thing, just a quick brush and wiping off the excess with the cloth. Trigger housing looks good. Get that a little brush. Same thing, we'll wipe that off. I didn't take my connector out. I'm just going to leave that in unless I'm doing a really deep cleaning. I don't normally take my connector out. See, this isn't really a exact science for me. I just kind of get the cleaner on there, brush it around, wipe it off. I'm not as meticulous as some people might be with their guns. And it's not like it's a gun with really tight tolerances where I really need to make sure that it's perfectly clean either, so. All right. My rails. Let me see if I can pass this through my hole for my trigger a few times, or at least once. Just get some of that grime out of there, that fouling. Oh, we're stuck, so we'll back it out. Shit. That's much better. Wipe off our slide, lock. All right, so this worked really well. I have the wrong bore snake. I need the one for 22. I grabbed the one for 9. I'm going to clean my Glock 45 after this, but it's actually hard to do, trying to keep the shit on camera. Get inside the rails. I do have picks and everything else that I'll use to really get in here inside the rail if I really want to get a really good cleaning, but this is going to be good enough. And this is just a practice gun, so I'm not worried about it being extremely clean to defend my life or somebody else's with it. That's just for me to get my reps. So we'll grab the other bore snake. See if we can't pass it through the barrel. I wish you could see through there. I know you can see in there a little bit, but not too well. The barrel is actually much cleaner than I thought it would be from the beginning. We'll pass this through. If you're not familiar with the bore snake, it's pretty much just a little weighted cord. And then this cloth part has some bristles on it, which are not going to go into focus. But either way, this section has bristles, and then it's just the cording that will wipe up any excess. But these are amazing for cleaning your barrel. Yeah, so one pass through and it's already shiny in there. I'm just gonna pass it through one more time, and then we'll call that a day. Cool. So then what we'll do, it's going to take a second and put all of this back together. Now it is a CLP, so technically I should be able to use it as a lubricant as well. So we'll see how that works. I'm going to put everything back together. All right, so I poured some of the cleaner on my light just to see what would happen, just for the fuck of it. I know this shit is extremely caked on and dirty, so I'm not really expecting much. When I've used past cleaners or other cleaners in the past, I've had to let it sit like this. See how there's a bunch of it on there? And then let it sit for a long time, scrub it, repeat, scrub it, repeat. So we'll see if this is any different than the other process. This is a really unfair test, but we'll see if this even starts to come off. I'm just using a nylon brush for this. I don't want to use the brass brush on the glass or plastic, whatever that Streamlight makes this out of. Nope. I don't know, that is starting to come off, but I think like before, it's just going to take several times. It is better. I don't know if you can tell in the center where it's starting to lighten up, right? I don't think the brush was really doing much. This cloth that's actually coming off. So I'm going to stop there for now so the video is not too long. But you can see it is actually coming off. That whole thing was black previously. So this thing sees a lot of 22. So now the light actually, was my battery dead? Yeah. So it actually getting a little bit of light through. Not bad at all. That was actually a test that I didn't expect for it to to pass at all. All right, so this Professor Pew actually impressed me. When it started to clean that light, and the other cleaners that I was using that will remain nameless didn't do that well, and I honestly only let it sit. It might have sat on the light for maybe about 5 minutes max before I started to wipe it off, and it's coming off a lot better than it ever has. So I don't know. Usually I'm kind of in the mind that most of these cleaners are exactly the same and you're not really going to see much difference, but I have to be honest, after doing this, this one is pretty good. So I'm going to continue to use it, and I'll keep you all updated. If you have any questions, let me know in post below. I'll put a link where you can find this if you want to check it out. I'll put that in the description. All right, y'all stay safe.